Welcome back to Let's Play Amy Rose in Sonic the Hedgehog 1, and we've arrived in the Spring Yard Zone, which is, to be honest, one of my favorite levels just because of the music. And I always got the vibe that this was like one of the first ever casino-themed, well, it's not really a casino, but more like a themed kind of zone, with all the bumpers and shit. But it's not exactly my most favorite zone in terms of collecting Chaos Emeralds, because there's one particular enemy aside from the annoying-ass bee that's quite a dick move master, and you'll be seeing him quite soon. Just a sec. I know you're coming! I know you're coming! There you are, you bastard! Got him. Basically, that little annoying fucktard decides to come out of nowhere and, like, hits you. If you don't take care of him right away, he'll jump at a random angle and get you no matter what. Sometimes you can get lucky, but most of the time, yeah. That's a perfect way to lose all your rings. Now then, just gotta get through this zone. The trick here is just to actually move a bit slow, because there's quite a few obstacles here. Compared to other zones, the only exception is the 6th zone, but in this one there's quite a few things that can easily hit you if you're going too fast. And that's the funny thing, this whole place is designed in a way to make you want to go fast. Which kind of amplifies the whole, you know, trickery bullcrap. But the music is just awesome, so I guess it's forgiven a little. Anyhow, there's one thing I wanted to discuss, since we're almost near the end of the first act anyway. You ever notice how they say certain games age well over time? I think that basically means no matter what time or period the game is being played in, everybody's gonna want to play it because it looks cool or something like that. And there are several factors about this whole aging well thing. After reading about it a little bit and hearing some comments from some friends, I think I've come up with a theory of how it works. But I think we'll discuss it after the special stage. So this is the 5th one we're going after. And this one kind of takes the cake, I think, for trickery when it comes to avoiding sudden plummeting into the goalpost. Of course, I got lucky a little bit there, because I was like trying to get past certain parts. And I did. Blah blah blah. Why am I describing things you guys can see? It's not like you're blind. Or are you? Then again, why would you watch YouTube videos if you're blind? Kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Now this is where those rotation circles are just so annoying. I kept trying to get over there, and I kept tapping that stupid rotation circle. So I was finally deciding that, oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go this way. Perfect waste of like 20 seconds, though. The way this thing is designed looks like it was designed to be easy to get. If you play your cards right and hit it just right, then this one should be pretty easy to acquire. Especially unlike that 3rd stage. God, I hated that one. But yeah, we got 5 Chaos Emeralds, just one more to get. And then we won't have to worry about them anymore. Plus, the extra continues are nice. Now then, let's go ahead and discuss my aging well topic. Basically, old games, when they are played by a newer generation somewhere in the future, maybe 5, 10 years, 20 years, whatever, they'll want to play it regardless of how old it is because it looks cool or the gameplay is addictive or whatever. Now, certain games don't age so well because of a number of factors. One of them is that there are several copies of it. Like, take for example Half-Life, if you wanted to take that into account. Half-Life was incredibly popular when it came out. It was an awesome game, everybody wanted to play it. Everybody preferred it over System Shock 2, which is both a case of fortunate and unfortunate. And I screwed up there. We're not getting the Chaos Emerald in this act, unfortunately. Anyhow, back on topic. basically, there were so many other FPSs that were coming out, you know, then and now, that basically followed the same premise, you know, gameplay-wise and all that, of Half-Life. So in other words, you have these games that have not only better graphics, but perhaps more fine-tuned gameplay. But then again, Half-Life had some really awesome gameplay to begin with, but what I'm getting at is that because there's all these more graphically superior copies, that Half-Life in comparison just doesn't look as good anymore, even with Half-Life Source installed to improve the textures and models and all that. There have been efforts, I believe it's called the Black Mesa Project, that are meant to restore it, or actually, no, upgrade it to the Half-Life 2 engine, to bring it up to par, because the whole reason they're doing it is not only because of fan service, because I'm pretty sure some fans just like to pump up the graphics a bit to relive old memories, but they're probably doing that because of the fact that the game just hasn't aged that well. Deus Ex is a similar case, because, well, I'm not really sure why. Deus Ex, I think the other reason why Deus Ex is not aging so well is probably just because its graphics look pretty ancient. This is probably because of Unreal Tournament going up in graphics. That's just my opinion. Not only that, but the movements of the characters and the AI seem a bit sluggish in comparison to the more realistic motions of character movement. Well, yeah, you can go ahead and theorize that. So here's some Shock 2, I think, aged well, mainly because of its addictive gameplay. It was way ahead of its time, and the graphics, even, I actually prefer the old graphics just because, well, I grew up with them, but some people like newer models and whatever, and I screwed up again. People want newer graphics, so they have the SS2 fan community that's been pumping out modifications to really make it more modernized, I guess. But for better or for worse, System Shock 2, I guess it appeals to everybody's taste. It's just a shame nobody has heard of it as much. So I guess when it comes right down to it, it all has to do with how many other games that are similar to the game in question are out, and whether the gameplay is solidified, and whether the graphics can be updated or not, or whether the graphics were way ahead of their time to begin with. I guess there's way too many factors to really get it down. Now, to the main reason why I decided to bring that up is because we're talking about the Sonic games, the classic games. Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic & Knuckles, and Sonic CD, probably a few others, but those 5 games are mainly the ones I consider the classic series, because they came out for the Sega Genesis. There's also Sonic 3D Blast, but I haven't really heard too many positive comments about 3D Blast. And plus, I can never beat the damn thing. So, on topic. Sonic, all the classic games I feel pretty much aged really well because the gameplay is pretty much, it never gets really boring. The gameplay is pretty awesome because there's a bit of strategy to it, and there's a bit of there's the gimmicky speed quality that has been taken over the top in some Sonic games, but that back then it was a gimmick that kind of gave it a niche in the gaming community. So in this case, this niche is part of the reason why it's so addictive to play this game nowadays, and why some people, why it's been re-released so that newer generations can play the old games. Like, you know, Sonic Mega Collection, you can buy it on Xbox Live, PSN, you know, etc. So basically, I think it has to come down to the gameplay. The graphics are also not that bad, though Sonic 1 does look kind of old. I mean, the graphics look kind of a little more simplistic, and they kind of remind me of those old-age Sega Genesis games. Unlike Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, which kind of make me think of, like, more modernized gaming. Sonic CD really took it one step further because, you know, it was Sonic CD, Sega CD, so they kind of had better graphics cards and all that. But even then, Sonic 1 still has a unique place in our hearts. And not to mention, all the hacks that have been made to, you know, make fan missions, you could say, out of the Sonic games, have also proved that it's a timeless piece of gaming art. Anyhow, if you guys are still awake after that little after that little monologue of mine, we're almost to the end of Act 3. I actually got through this stage fairly quickly. It's not a very long stage, and if you play your cards right, I'm pretty sure you can get through it really fast. Unlike the 4th stage, that is. But we'll get to that next episode. Now, to be honest, when I played Sonic 1 way back in the day, when I used to be a kid, I'm 18 now. Then again, I'm not that old, but you know what I mean. I barely ever got past the second level. I didn't get past the second level until I was probably 9 years old. Then I got to Spring Yard, which I thought was the hardest level in history, because I kept dying on it, losing all my lives. And the boss for this zone was just annoying. I couldn't figure it out. Maybe it was because I was too slow, maybe because I just didn't know how to freaking dodge. But let's go ahead and analyze the boss. Pretty simple nowadays. I mean, all you gotta do is make sure you don't get in the way of that spike thing. And he doesn't go down until a full pass after he does an initial attack. Like, after he does that, he has to go all the way to the other side, but I didn't give him the time of day there. He just died right there and then. And that's the end of that. Hope you guys enjoyed my commentary for this episode. I'll be seeing you next time on Let's Play Amy Rose and Sonic 1. See you next time.